Today we're going to build a tower on top of the house. Welcome to Gaming for Grandparents. I'm Echo Pearl, and this is Minecraft. This channel is designed for grandparents. If you enjoy this content, it is free to subscribe. Because I'm used to playing in survival mode, I like to build a tower on top of my houses. Because when I first started playing Minecraft, I played it on my cell phone, and I didn't know that there was the option of looking up your coordinates. So I would always build towers so I could always find my way home. And I love having towers because it allows me to look all over the land and see what's going on without having to worry about fireworks or falling. So I always build a tower on top of my houses. This is just a habit from being in survival mode on a cell phone. The game is less expensive to play on a cell phone, and it's because you don't have all the same options, but I do recommend you use a game controller. You can find wireless game controllers like this one online, and then you can just go for it. I do recommend a pillow cell phone or tablet holder. They're very comfortable. You can just set it on your lap or on a stand or whatever and lean that phone up against the pillow so you can see everything. This is an example of one that's holding a tablet, which is obviously larger than a cell phone. Don't bother with getting the game controller that has the cell phone attachment to it. Those just make your game controller heavier. And I prefer a lightweight game controller, and I found that the cell phone just kind of messed with the balance and everything, so I hated having that attachment on there. So now I've got the center beam to the height that I wanted at. So now I'm going to look at building my stairs and a spiral staircase going all the way up to the top. Spiral staircases are such a pain in the rump because if you don't put that stair correctly at the bottom, then it will want to turn upside down and create an eave instead of a stair. Once I get the stairs kind of in place, I'm now building those landings at every corner. And then of course, testing it to make sure it's working correctly. I start to build the landing as I go, but it messed me up, so I decided to just keep going with the staircases all the way up, and then I'd add the landings after the fact. Stairs, I think, are the most picky of all of the blocks, in which you've got to place that crosshair perfectly to get the stair to go the way you want it. If you just do it the wrong way or hit the wrong block, every time it's going to kind of mess you up. So the most time-consuming process is getting the stairs built. Once you get that done, everything else goes pretty smoothly. And now we're almost to the top, so we can actually start building the landing for the tower itself. And I don't need it to be large. I can just make it maybe 10-12 blocks wide. Now I'm being a little bit indecisive here, where I'm trying to figure out, do I want to raise it up one more so that it's above my middle beam, or do I want to just leave it even with that middle beam? So I finally commit to going above that middle beam, and as I'm wrapping it around, I realize that I have to have head clearance for that set of stairs, and that causes me to pause because now I'm thinking I've got to go up even higher. So I go ahead and place the landing to see what my head height is, to see if I'm going to clear it or not. And I already know that it's not going to clear those stairs. So I'm now going to build around those stairs, which enables me to still have that head clearance. So I continue to go ahead and place the blocks and build around the staircase. I'm going to be able to add rails so I don't fall down into the hole, but I'm going to leave this gigantic hole right here in the middle of this platform. This ensures my head clearance all the way around. Again, I'm testing my head clearance and making sure that I can't fall off the stairs as well. So that works for me. I'm going to move on to finishing up the platform and then adding glass windows. I decide that I want a little bit more walking room around that gigantic hole in the platform, so I add a few more rows just to give me that walking space and to accommodate the glass windows that I'm going to be putting up. Because anytime you place any type of block on top of a block, it in a sense takes up a block. So now I'm going to start placing some of the glass planes to see if I prefer planes over glass block. And the spot where you have to actually hit to put up a plane is so narrow that I'm debating, do I really want to go with glass plane all the way around this because this is a more time consuming build, or do I want to just go ahead and do the block? I put the glass pane on 2 rows, and that's going to be my height for just my observation look out. I realized that the glass pane only is set vertically. You can't really put it horizontally, so it's not going to work for a roof. So I'm going to have to switch to the glass block in order to use or put a roof up there. The other thing with building any type of a tower is the only thing that can reach you up in a tower is going to be the phantoms, but they only come out if you don't sleep. Obviously, in watching this build, I haven't slept for probably a couple of days now. So if I looked up, I'd probably see the phantoms swarming around me. But again, because I'm in creative mode, they're not attacking me. Now, one of the things that I'm not really happy with is when I put the glass block on, it hangs over, as you can see right here, the glass pane. Aesthetically, don't really like that look much. Kind of cool that I caught that sunrise in that block right there. So this is only going to be a 2-block high space that I'd be walking around. And again, I prefer to do 3 blocks high, but because it's glass, I'm not going to have that same claustrophobic feeling. Alright, but you can kind of see how low that ceiling is compared to the interior designs that I've done. Now I have to figure out what I want to do about this gigantic hole and what type of railing I want to put around it so I don't accidentally fall into the hole. So I decided to use the contrasting oak wood instead of the dark oak to create this, and this is just fences that I'm putting around, but it looks like railing, so it's good enough, and it does the same job of preventing me from suddenly walking off. Last one, and now I'm safe from falling into the hole, but I can still access the staircase. So now I'm back on the stairs and I'm just kind of looking to see. I've got a really good view all the way around. I kind of like my view. So now I'm just seeing what do I want to do next. I still have to put the landings up and I step off. I forgot that I was not in that fly mode and just completely walked off and hit the bottom, which is fine. I have to add the landings anyway. So here we go. Had I been in survival mode just then, I would have died. And I did die from building a tower in my first Minecraft world. I had built an amethyst tower. That tower went all the way up to the clouds, and I was being so careful. And I realized that I was really high up, and I was not in creative mode, I was in survival mode. And I went to start doing a block down because I built 2 blocks up so that I could break 1 block coming down. Because I was still at early stages in my world and I hadn't fought the dragon to be able to get the light trap. I was being so careful, but apparently the view was just so beautiful that it distracted me. And I don't remember if I stepped backwards or forwards, but I just stepped off that safety block and all the way down to the ground. I knew I was going to die when I hit the ground, but it took like 3 or 4 seconds for me to hit the ground. That's how high up I was. Fortunately, the tower was on top of my roof, so I was able to just go back up from my bedroom that was 1 floor down and just grab all my stuff. But I was trying to build this amethyst tower so I could find my house. So then I had to build a 3rd block going up to break the 2nd blocks coming down where I had fallen off. And fortunately I managed it, but I also, while I was doing that, put some torches up so that could help with visibility and finding my house as well. So I'm continuing to put the landing up just to keep going and making sure that as I come down these steps, I'm not going to fall. Because again, I do like to switch into survival mode from time to time, so having these landings and having the staircases 2 wide instead of 1 wide also helps with not having to worry about falling off. When I'm walking, probably even in real life, I get a little distracted by the scenery and don't always pay attention to where I'm stepping. And in Minecraft, that just means that yep, you're going to die because you'll fall off and hit the ground maybe seconds later. Although this tower is not as high as the amethyst tower that I built in my other world. And yes, that amethyst tower was in my cell phone world. It was my first world. I was so excited when I found that huge biome of these amethysts. And I'm here to tell you, I took every single one of them. And I loved the sound that it made when you walked on them. But I finished up with all the landings, so now it's the test of trial. And again, I'm so used to game controller that spinning around like this on a mouse and keyboard, not my strength at all. And I don't know why I just broke that. Chances are I did it in error because I'm and then I put the stair up wrong. I did it in error because I was fighting with the mouse and keyboard because I'm still learning to do the controls with mouse and keyboard, and obviously not that good at it yet because my gosh, it's taken me forever to get up this staircase. And I have a couple of cables that are on the mouse side, so my mouse keeps running into these cables for the microphone as well as for the mouse. Oh well, at any rate, I made it and it's working, so that's all that matters, right? We now have our glass tower, observation deck, and it's all good. Mobs can spawn in here, so we want to make sure that we're immediately lighting it up. And fortunately for us, this railing makes for great lantern holders. So now I have a 360-degree view surrounding my little moat island that I'm on. And I probably am not going to worry with railing or anything like that. I've just got to get better with the mouse and keyboard, because as you can see, it's taken forever to go down, just as it took forever to go up. But now, of course, we have to get to the bottom and do our step back look to see if we like it. So we'll run over here to the side and then do the whole turn and look. And there you have it. Our observation deck tower is built. Eventually I will put a roof on this, and that roof will be built around this tower, because I'll still want to be able to get access up to the tower, and yet at the same time have a roof up here, which will just be more open space up here that I might be able to build something else. And I think that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and remember, when you see me, if I'm facing one direction and holding something in my hand, you can tell this is actually the back of me, not the front of me. But my front and my back are the exact same. But if you enjoyed this content, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.